Hi everyone, welcome back. My name's Claire and this is Peachy Keen Pans. I'm here today to update progress on my Natasha Denona pastel palette. This is my focus palette for 2024 as a pan that palette and also part of Battleship Pan's Bonanza. So I uploaded my intro very late and now this first update is also coming kind of late. The actual update for like mid-March will come out probably in like 2 weeks. So I guess it'll be a short time between now and the next video. But basically, I'll show you how it's looking. I'll go through the number of uses and a bit about how I've used it. So I am wearing it today on my eyes, the pink in the crease and the shimmer on the lid. Oh yeah, and a little bit of the peach matte and the peach shimmer on the lower lash line. So what I'm wearing is this shade all over the lid. This one's one that I repressed into the palette. I'll explain that in a moment. This one in the crease, this one on the lower lash line. This one was also pressed into the palette, and this one just a little bit on the inner part to like tie the peach together, and because the top is a bit peachy. Oh yeah, for context, I am going to a Mardi Gras themed class at the gym today. My gym does like Mardi Gras themed classes every year. They're super fun. I did a twerking workshop the other day. It was super hard but really fun. That was part of their like themed classes, and then today is just like a super hardcore hour-long kind of mid-weight high intensity circuit kind of class. And I don't really own any rainbow stuff, so I'm not great at dressing specifically on theme for Pride, but I just thought I'll go like as cute and kind of kitschy as I can, leaning into like cunty as the aesthetic. But yeah, so I have used this palette, I think a fair bit. I'll show you what the usage is looking like. I am tracking it visually. It's just what works for me. So if you can see there, this is my like mid-Jan to mid-Feb update, and then this is how I'm going so far since then. So that's like how the usage is looking. I used every shade, sorry, that probably wasn't long enough. There, I hope that's clear. Yes. Sometimes the camera doesn't focus when I like pull things back towards me, so hopefully it does. I've used the shades, I'll count through in order, and you can kind of see what they look like. Okay, going across the top row, 3 uses, 4 uses, 8 uses, but that was before I scraped out the really shitty pale yellow that was in here and repressed in, or like in its place pressed in Glaminatrix Chick, which was from their Easter collection from a few years ago. I'll put the pictures like up here somewhere of how that process went. Anyway, so yeah, I did use it 8 times and then scraped it out and put this in, which I haven't used yet. But I think this will be super easy to hit pan on because it's like, I only have such a small amount of that shade left. Anyway, 7 uses, again, before I scraped out the very lackluster pink iridescent that's in this palette. Some of these shades are just so not great. So anyway, now I've replaced it with Terra Moon's Red Giant, the pink icon. So it's so much better. It's what's on my lids today. It's a beautiful color. 3 uses, 7 uses, 7? Oh, sorry. 3 uses, 1 use, 2 use, 11, 7, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 2. That's how it's gone so far. So the most used has been the peach matte. The shade names don't coordinate to like, don't correspond to any of the pans in here because I rearranged it all. But the peach matte has been used the most. I think after that it's been like these 2 and this one. So it's kind of like this, roughly this area has gotten the most use, which makes sense. They're like the most neutral shades on me. Wearing like peach and pink is pretty easy. And yeah, these 2 shades are new. Obviously this one I pressed in earlier in the year. I also thought I should mention, because it's relevant, this palette originally had like a red in it, which is this red, and I swapped it out for the peach in the palette now, like the peach shimmer. But I pressed this into a single because I actually quite liked it. I just didn't feel it went with the palette, but I've used this a couple times, which I'm pleased about. I don't use reds heaps, but I think recently when I've done like a full wash of like a sheer red on the face, I've used that on the lower lash line to kind of give a bit of dimension. I really like shimmers on the lower lash line, so even though it's not part of the palette anymore, I feel like kind of keeping an eye on the fact that I'm using this as well goes with panning the palette. So yeah, I'm pleased that I've reached for that. And I think in terms of looks and stuff, like I will put on the screen, I definitely did like a more aqua kind of look, and I think I wore the mint in the inner corner at some point. I've definitely worn like the pale yellow in the inner corner, done like a peach, you know, through the crease or on the lid, basic shit. I think in terms of progress, I'm just taking a look. My estimate is this pink and this green will be the easiest mattes to hit pan on because they're like, I think these are like the cream to matte or whatever. I don't know, these like different type of formulas. They're really loose. And so are these two, but these two were used a lot by whoever owned this palette previously. And so I feel like they have like almost a bit of a hard pan effect on them. Plus, they're just like slightly deeper in tone, although I think they both apply more pale than they look in the pans. But because of that, I haven't reached for them as often. Whereas I think the pink and the green, I will get enough use out of to hit pan on them within like 1 to 2 months. I do think obviously this is going to be really easy to hit pan on because there's so little eyeshadow in there. So that's a bit of like a gimme shade. And then I probably need to get stuck more into like, well, probably these two, like for cool tone and warm tone, neutral adjacent, like peachy pinky looks. I think these two, I should be able to up my usage a bit. This as an inner corner, the others are going to be more challenging, I imagine. Maybe I can try and get this more on the lid. If you have any like obviously suggestions or thoughts about how I could be using it, feel free to let me know. And I think that's everything I have to update because yeah, obviously the intro went up super recently, so I will see you guys in 2 weeks time for the next update, hopefully with the pan, but I really don't know. I don't know, we'll see. And hope you're all going well, and I guess happy Mardi Gras as well. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.